Welcome to Picks and Parlays here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network, the miracle of modern technology.
That was amazing.
That was incredible. I'm your host, Nick Geber. Great to be with you, by the way, here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network. Also streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. I'm alongside my good friend, Ali, the plus money honey herself, Burns. How you doing, Ali?
I'm good. I'm curious. I'm excited.
It's our day today, Ali.
If
I
you
don't know
keep
what to
saying
say.
this,
We
you
are
won't tell me what it
celebrating
is.
today. Ali, today, Wednesday the 20th of February, National Handcuff Day. I'm excited beyond my wildest dreams, Ali. So before we celebrate that after the show, let's get to some sports during the show, shall we?
All right.
And I know
all right.
we've got a big show. We're going to
I feel
start.
like I wore my prisoner shirt. And
We're going to start.
everything.
We've got Alex Smarty Pants Smart. We're going to talk a little NHL rapid fire. Pittsburgh, Toronto, San Jose, New Jersey, the Jets against the Senators, Phoenix, Colorado, Arizona, St. Louis, and Florida versus the Kings. And then we have Craig's going to stay on with us for two segments.
I know.
We're going to do a little college basketball Thursday. What do you have on the college basketball front for us?
I'm going to do Oregon and ASU. Love both of those teams. Very excited. And also Ohio State and Iowa.
All right, I'm going to do USC, Colorado, and Michigan State, Nebraska. Then we're going to move along to some NBA action. I've got the Bucks at Pistons. What do you have?
I've got the Nets at Sixers. That should be a really good one. And the Rockets at the Warriors, which should not be a really good
Oh,
one.
and let's not forget the Grizzlies at Kings. Look, picksandparlays.net, we got a lot of free picks for you. We're going to give away a lot of free picks on this show, so we do welcome you to the show. Get a pen, get a paper, write them down, but don't worry about it if you miss it. We'll recap them all at the end of the show. And, of course, you can find these free picks and a whole lot more at our website, picksandparlays.net. Now, when you're ready for it, though, our expert picks are there for you as well. And right now, Ali, very excited. Craig is not his usual stingy self.
No,
We've
we got
opened it up.
brand new promo code.
Brand new promo code. All weekend, 20% off. Use promo code
XFL.
XFL for 20%
Simple.
off. All right, we're going to step aside, gather our thoughts, take a quick break, and we'll be right back with Alex Smarty Pants Smart and some NHL Rapid Fire. Well, thanks for sticking with us here at the Sports Byline Broadcast Network, also live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Of course, this is Picks and Parlays, the radio show edition. I'm your host, Nick Geber, along with the plus money honey herself, Ali Burns. We're going to do a little NHL rapid fire. Why do I think NBA? We're going to do NHL rapid fire. Could you imagine NBA
Wait
players
for it.
on ice? I mean, that would be interesting.
Ooh, a lot of injuries.
I wonder if that'd be a show you could probably see, NBA players on ice. But look, who better to talk NHL with than our very own resident Canadian, Alex Smarty Pants Smart. Let's bring him on in. Alex, how are you today,
I'm doing good, G. How's it, Ollie? Good?
I'm good. I'm rocking and rolling. Good to see you again.
Good.
All right. Well, let's rock and roll, shall we? Let's start. We've got a bunch of games to get to. So let's start our NHL rapid fire with the Winnipeg Jets against the Ottawa Senators. The Jets are 31-30, 6-4 in the last 10 on a 2-game winning streak. They beat the Kings 6-3 the last outing. They're 15-13 straight up, 20-8 against the spread on the road. They're 5-2 straight up in the last 7 against Ottawa. And the Senators, not so good. 21-39. They're 3-7. Now, hold on a second, because you look at that and you say, that sucks. But they're 3-1 in this homestand that they're on, and they are a very, very streaky team. I mean, they've had some massive losing streaks and a few wins in and there, but they are finally on something that looks like a half-decent homestand. They're 15 and 17 straight up, 17 and 15 against the spread at home, but they're only 5 and 15 straight up in the last 20. Now look, the Senators are plus 129, the Jets minus 143 on the money line. What do you like on this one, Smarty Pants?
Well, the value is going to rest with Ottawa, of course. I was thinking the same thing with Ottawa last week, and then I sort of got away from myself there and started to doubt myself because, you bet on Ottawa and you're going to always have double thoughts, but the value is there with them from now to the end of the season because they're always going to be, I guess how we say it, like undervalued. The market is where we're at with Ottawa, and from here to the end of the season, just look for Ottawa like in pinpoint spots, like this game against Winnipeg, even though Winnipeg's playing some good hockey.
So you like Ottawa on the money line here, is that right?
I like Ottawa on the money line. I'm not going to change my mind this time. Yeah.
Well, they are on this incredible. This homestand's 3-1, and I think they still got 2 more games at home. They got this one, I think the one immediately following. So you never know. I love that. And at plus 129, that's good for the plus money honey, isn't it?
I already jotted it down, Alex. I already jotted that down.
What do you got, Allie?
Okay, so I'm going to take you to New Jersey. We're going to talk San Jose and the Devils. San Jose's 26 and 33. They have a lot of players out, suspensions, injuries, that kind of jazz. They're coming off a loss versus Florida, 3-5, but they have won their last 3 of 5. New Jersey's 22 and 37. They lost to St. Louis, shut out 3-0, but they've won 2 of their last 5. I feel like this is kind of like a battle of the rebuilding teams. I'm showing New Jersey minus 120 and the total at 5.5. Any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I like the value once again. We're at the time of the year, the time of the season when there's a lot of value there because the market is, I wouldn't say playing to public sentiment, but at the same time putting numbers out there that we'll say a lot of bottom feeders like to chase. And I'll tell you, there's value here, and the value comes with San Jose. New Jersey's going through like you said, a rebuilding situation. They're trading away the house right now. They just got rid of Green, their captain, their top defenseman. He's gone to the Islanders, and there's more to come. And the team, I think, right out of the gate was playing. Teams that have trades a lot of time, you're looking for them to go one direction, but actually just for a short period of time because there's kids coming in the lineup and they're all playing really, trying to find or solidify a spot for next year. They're playing hard. Now they went against St. Louis in their second game after those big trades I talked about, and they got beaten 3-0. And I think we have value with San Jose tomorrow night.
All right, so take that dog at San Jose. Nick, what do you got?
All right, next up on our NHL Rapid Fire, we're going to move along to the Penguins against the Maple Leafs. The Penguins are 37 and 21, 7 and 3 in the last 10. They're on a 3-game winner right now, and this is the second game in a home and away stand against, obviously, the Leafs. So they won the previous game 5-2 in Pittsburgh. That was at home, obviously. They're 15 and 12 straight up, 14 and 17 against the spread on the road. But they're only 1 and 4 on the road in Toronto, so that doesn't bode particularly well. The Leafs are 31 and 30. They're 4 and 6 in the last 10. They lost, obviously, the return game against the Penguins, as we just spoke about, and they lost to the Buffalo Sabres right before that. They're 15 and 15 straight up, 9 and 21 against the spread at home. But look, they're 1 and 5 straight up in the last 6 against Eastern Conference opponents. And the Maple Leafs are minus 120, and the Penguins even money at plus 100. Is there anything? What do you like on this one?
Well, once again, I'm after value again at this time of the year, and there's lots of it around. Pittsburgh deserves to be our choice, and I'm going to tell you why. There's something about Toronto. There's a big thing going on in Toronto right now. The fans are unhappy with the performance of the team. This was supposed to be a Stanley Cup championship team. They've really struggled a great deal. But if they really would have paid attention to what their hopes were for their future, they would have looked at a guy like John Tavares, who's an emotionless robot, who's supposed to be the captain of the team, scores like crazy, be on the board every night, consistently see points from the guy. Guy's a superstar, super talent, no emotion on the ice, no emotion in the locker room. Toronto, go against him here. Pittsburgh's the team to take tomorrow night. Much better team.
Awesome.
All right. Okay, well, let's cruise We're going to do the Flyers and the Blue Jackets. This one's kind of funny because they just played each other on, was it Tuesday, I believe. Flyers are 33-27. They have 60 points. They were at home on Tuesday where they beat the Blue Jackets 5-1. They've won 3 of their last 5. They're 13-8 on the road. And the Blue Jackets at 30-31 are really looking to end this slump. I remember they were like ice hot, red hot, at a really big part during the season. That sounded silly the way I said that, but you know what I'm talking about here. And then they just kind of went cold. They've lost 6 in a row. They need to get out of it. They are a favorite at home where they're 18-4 at home, but losing 6 in a row is a little bit scary. I was going to say the Blue Jays. Blue Jackets are -115. Philly is +105. I kind of like the home team here. What do you think?
Maybe the market's going to treat them right at this point after 6 straight losses. But I look at this, I've beat my head against the wall over the years, chasing teams that are in a slump and, expecting something to change because of something that previous to that, or, because we're all high on them because, memories sometimes in this sport are long. We even couldn't catch on to Golden State, just changing the subject. Golden State, how bad they have become, it sort of shocks people. And it took about a few games to see that. Columbus is slumping right now. Philadelphia is actually an uptrending team in my power rankings. Really respect them. We've got value. We've got value with Philadelphia here again. A team that can't beat Columbus and matches up well against them.
All right, there you have it. Take the plus money again.
We've got just a couple of minutes left, so let's make this one quick. We got the Coyotes against the Blues. The Coyotes are 30-32. They're 4-6 in the last 10 on a 2-game winning streak. They beat the Capitals and the Islanders. The Blues, this is interesting because this team was really hot earlier on in the season. They're 33-27. They're 3-7 straight up after a 3-0 win over the Islanders, slapped a 5-game losing streak they won. But look at this. This team has had a shocking 2020. They've gone 7-12 in the new year. They're 7-win, 12 losses in the new year. That came after they ended the year going 8-1. Look, the Coyotes are +166. The Blues -185. Are we liking Arizona on this one?
We're liking Arizona on this, G. This is the team to be on right now. St. Louis last year, after the second half of the season, absolutely annihilated the NHL. They look very human now. They don't look like Stanley Cup champions. Very vulnerable. Great value here. We're going to go with Arizona.
Love it. All right, Smarty Pants. Always a pleasure. Alex Smart. You can find Alex on our website, picksandparlays.net, along with 34 other quality handicappers. And right now, we have a special promo code for you over the weekend. 20% off. Use promo code XFL. Load up your basket with all of Alex's expert picks. Trust me, this guy knows what he's talking about. And he's Canadian. Automatically, Canadians know everything about the NHL. I think it's in their blood. All right, when we come back, we'll join Craig Trapp for College Basketball Thursday. Stay with us. All right, welcome back, Picks and Parlays, here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network, where we're with you each and every weekday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific, live on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network. Also, broadcasting live video on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. If you miss any part of the show, don't worry about it. You can find the replays on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and our podcast is available for you at the Believe Podcast Network. For the link, just go to our website, picksandparlays.net. We've got lots of free picks for you, and of course, our expert picks as well. I'm Nick Geber, alongside Ali, the Plus Money Honey herself, Burns. Great to have you with us. If you want to comment on the show, have something to say, all you have to do is fill out the comment section on any one of our social media platforms, and we'll see it here in the studio and put it up on the screen for you to talk to us. And rude is allowed, super rude is allowed, extra rude is allowed. But what about extra rude, Ali?
That's where I draw the line. Okay.
You're going to cut it right there. Okay, we'd love to hear from you, seriously. All right, in the meantime, let's bring in our next capper. He is the star of the show himself, the man, the myth, the legend, Craig Trapp, El Guapo himself. Craig, you ready to talk some college basketball? This National Handcuff Day, I might say.
Well, yeah, 4 weeks till really the start of really where the March Madness starts with college, the basketball tournaments when they start with for the conferences. So it's time to build the bankroll.
Well, what do you think, Craig? Should I uncuff Ali before the 4 weeks are up?
or put the ball and chain on as well.
It's not National Ball and Chain Day, though. It's just handcuff day. Okay. All right, let's get...
Is it like get into handcuffs or get out of handcuffs?
I don't know. You're in trouble, Allie. That's all I can say. All right, let's kick it off. Allie, what you got for Craig?
Okay, so I'm going to do the Buckeyes and the Hawkeyes. All right, this Big Ten matchup, it should be a really good one. Ohio State's 25, Iowa's 20. Ohio State 17-8. They've won 2 in a row, coming off that win at home against Purdue, 68-52. They're 3-5 on the road. They've got a pretty decent defense when you compare it to the Hawkeyes. They average 72. They only allow 61. They're number 8 in the Big Ten. They're cruising into Iowa. It's a tough place to play. Hawkeyes are 18-8. And they're doing that, you know, I hate it, that win one, lose one, win one, lose one. That one always confuses me. And if it follows through, they should lose this one. But they're coming off a win at Minnesota, 58-55. Luka Garza had 24 points and 8 rebounds in that one. He is fantastic. They're averaging 78, but they're allowing 71. Number 3 in the Big Ten and 12-1 at home. Time for the number. The Hawkeyes are -2.5. The total is 144. What do we do with this?
Well, you know, it's all been the Big Ten. It's been all about the home teams this year, and Iowa is one of those teams. You know, 12-1 at home, 9-2-2 against the spread at home. So very good home team. Ohio State, just the opposite, of course. The road teams have struggled, like we said, in the Big Ten, 3-5, both straight up and against the spread on the road. So really hard to understand why Ohio State's only a 2.5-point underdog here. It seems like Iowa has a really big edge. I just think Ohio State, since that West Virginia loss, it was the day after Ohio State lost in the playoff, and they laid an egg at home to West Virginia. They have not been the same team. They've basically been about a 500 team. They went from a top 10 team to now they're number 24. If they lose this one, they're going to be back out of the top 25. I like Iowa here -2.5. I think Iowa clearly is the better team at home, and I love this Iowa offense. They shoot so much better at home. I like Iowa to roll in this one.
Love that pick. All right, passing it to you.
All right. Well, in continuing with our college basketball Thursday, let's stick with it, shall we, in the Big Ten, and let's get to Michigan State Spartans against the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Now, look, Craig, I think we're going to blow wide open your home court theory here in the Big Ten when we get to Nebraska. But before we do that, let's talk about the Spartans. They're 17-9, 11-15 against the spread. They're 4-6 in the last 10, though, coming off a 60-67 loss to Maryland. They're 4-4 straight up, 1-7 against the spread on the road, 9-6 in conference. The total's gone under in the last 11 games for the Spartans. And look, the Cornhuskers, look, they think they're Big Ten. No one's told them that they're not really that big, because they are really suffering at 7-18, 12-3 against the spread. And since beating Iowa at home, they haven't won a single game in the last 10. They only have 7 wins all season. And at home, sorry to blow out your theory there, Craig, they're 5-8, 4-9 against the spread at home. They've gone over in 7 of the last 9. It's no surprise we got double digits for Michigan at 12 points and 151. I think that total's low.
Well, Michigan State has not been good on the road, though, Nick. 4-4 straight up, 1-7 against the spread on the road.
But they're playing an elementary school basketball team.
I know Nebraska's not been much better. 4-9 against the spread at home, 5-8 straight up. So, you know, this is like 2 really bad teams that when they're not good. I will take Michigan State -11.5 here, but don't go crazy on this one. I'm telling you, the Big Ten this year, road favorites have been death, and I just can't lay that big number with a whole lot of confidence. But you can't take Nebraska. They just have been absolutely garbage this year, and at least they're 5-5 in the last 10 against the spread. But I guess if you put a gun to my head, I would take Michigan State -11.5 here, but be careful with this one. Nick, when you talk about the total here, you said 151. You think it's a little low. I actually think it's I would lend to the under here.
Really?
Because, you know, Michigan State has shown times where they shoot the ball, where they really struggle to shoot the ball consistently on the road. So I think I would play the under if I was going to play the total on this one as well.
All right, so we're going to play under 151 and take Michigan at I saw it was -12, but you're telling me it's now -11.5. So take that, be careful, have fun, make some money. Allie, what's next?
All right, I want to pick from the pack. A pick from the Pac-12, if you please. We're going to talk Oregon, number 14 in the country. They're going to go into ASU, not an easy place to play. Oregon's 20-6. 4 of those losses came on the road, but they have won their last 5. They just beat Utah at home, 80-6 at home in Eugene. 80-60. Peyton Pritchard had 25 points there. My favorite Duck, though, and you know I work for UNLV basketball, Shakur Houston played for UNLV last year. He was a really solid player, just kind of got messed up with the whole Marvin Menzies, business, and he went to Oregon, where he's having a really great season. He's starting, and he's had 11 points and 5 rebounds in that game against Utah. They're 9-4 in conference, 4-4 on the road. Now they're going to Arizona State. They're 17-8. They've won their last 2. They won against Cal 80-75. I have one thing. I follow ASU because Bobby Hurley is like my hero among all men. They're not a great first half team, so I really like to fade them in the first half. Just a little tip out there. They're 4th in their conference, 10-12 at home. I'm showing Oregon -1, 142.5 is the total. Don't talk crap about Bobby Hurley. Go.
Well, I thought I was your favorite, 40-some, mid-40s guy, but obviously Bobby Hurley obviously is. But I do like what Bobby Hurley's done to Arizona State today. Hey, who doesn't? I mean, back in the day, Bobby Hurley, I believe it was 1992 or 93 when they went back-to-back. I actually saw the second year. Cincinnati was playing Michigan, the Fab 5 game. I was there to watch them win the second one. So in the Superdome there in Minneapolis. But I do like Arizona State here getting the 1 point. The one thing we've seen in the Pac-10, well, really conferences in, this year, all these highly ranked teams on the road have been really bad as favorites. And I think that's another one. Oregon's just 3-5 against the spread on the road this year. I think they lose this one. I think Arizona State, they kind of need it. Even though their record is 17-8, they had a pretty easy schedule, not a very strong strength of schedule. So they need a quality win. This would be that quality win to make sure they don't get locked out this year of the big dance. So I like Arizona State with the motivation and at home. We're going to take the 1 point here with Arizona State and your Bobby Hurley Sun Devils here.
I almost wore my Duke jersey, but I thought I might get fired.
Right. Okay, so we're good on that one. Let's move on to the next one. Let's look at the USC Cheetahs against the Colorado Buffaloes. Now, the USC Cheetahs, of course, head coach Lori Loughlin. They are 19-7, 16-10 against the spread, 6-4 in the last 10 on a 2-game winning streak. They are beating Washington. They beat Washington and Washington State. I mean, must have been something untoward in that. 5-4 straight up, 8-1 against the spread on the road, 8-5 in conference. They've got some players out there, Sturdivant, Mobley, Okongwu, but we don't even know if they are actually players or if they're just people that had that on their profile in order to get into the university. But we can assume they might be players, they might not, we don't know. But look, the total's gone under in 6 of the last 7 for SC. Now, the Buffaloes, on the other hand, they're 20-6, all done without a moment of cheating, 12-13-1 against the spread. They're 7-3 in the last 10, coming off a thumping of Oregon State. They're 12-2 straight up, 6-7-1 against the spread at home, 10-4 in conference. They do have an injury in Schwartz. He was injured in that game against Oregon. They've gone under in 4 of the last 7 against SC, and thank God they're 8.5-point favorites here with a total pointage of 135. Take it away, El Guapo.
Well, you see what Allie did? She started talking about Bobby Hurley and not me, and I made her go unfocused.
And she went all blurry. I know. Allie went all blurry all of a sudden.
I fixed that just like for those of you that are listening on the radio, you gotta go over to the YouTube or Twitter or Facebook page to check it in. But when we go to USC at Colorado, USC's been money on the road, the best on the road team in as far as against the spread is numbers, 8-1 against the spread on the road this year in the Pac-12. They've been money. I like USC getting nearly the double digits. This line opened at 8.5, now up to 9.5. I really like USC here. I know Colorado is clearly the better team. I think Colorado wins the game, but I think it's a 5 or 6 point game, and clearly USC gets us the money here. And, I know you're bashing USC, but hey, my pocketbook says USC's been good to me on the road, so we're going to take them one more time, Nick.
Well, USC usually sucks the money out of your pocketbook, Craig, not putting it in there. But okay, we'll go with that. Listen, with that it? Do you have one? No, we're done, right?
I'm good
That's
here,
it.
yeah.
That's been our College Basketball Thursday with Craig Trapp. But don't worry, we'll bring Craig back right after the break because we're going to talk some NBA action with you. And we did talk Craig into a little extra money. He's going to open up his wallet for you because USC apparently been so good to him. He's going to be good to you. Give you 20% off all the expert picks on the site right now. Use promo code XFL for 20% off everything you want to buy at picksandparlays.net. Those expert picks will really help you out. Look, I said to a friend of mine, if you're going to bet on, if you're going to go bet on sports, don't do it alone. You want to put an expert in your pocket with you, and you can do that right here, picksandparlays.net. All right, be right back after this. Welcome back, Picks and Parlays. I'm your host, Nick Geber. Find me on Twitter, at Nick Geber, and NickGeber. We'll put it down there for you to read and see. And tweet away. Tweet away, little birdie. I'm here with my co-host who is cuffed to the desk this National Handcuff Day. Allie, the Plus Money Honey Burns. Allie, that was, we've done college basketball. Mm-hmm. We've done a little NHL.
Little NHL,
What's left?
There's only one more thing to do, and that's the NBA. We're going to talk about the big boys, the big ballers.
Let's do it. Let's bring back Craig Trapp, and let's talk a little NBA action with him, Craig. Welcome back. Good to see you. See you haven't changed. By the way, if you're listening to this on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network, and you hear us, talking about visual things, you're saying, how's that work? I got a radio. Well, don't look for the screen in your car, okay? It's currently showing you the map where you're going to the liquor store. We get it. But you can watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And while you're at the liquor store, pick us up a little something, okay? We always appreciate gifts.
Especially in the libations form.
Indeed. All right. Well, let's get to it. NBA action. Who's going to go first, Allie? You want to go first on this one?
First.
Well, take it away.
First.
Ladies first.
Ladies first. Just a good rule of thumb. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the Nets and the 76ers. Nets are 25-28. They just beat the Raptors 101-91, and that was a pretty big game because it snapped the Raptors' 15-game winning streak. So they got to be feeling pretty good about themselves right now. They've won 4 of their last 5. They are, however, 9-16 on the road, which is lucky for the 76ers because they're trying to keep their league best home record intact. We did hear today that Kyrie is going to be out even longer than he was going to be out. What is going on with his shoulder exactly? Just wondering. So the Sixers are 34-21. They're 25-2 at home. They've won 3 in a row, all those at home. And the last one was against the Clippers, 110-103. I'm showing the Sixers -8 with a total of 217, but I feel like that's too many points. Am I right?
Well, yeah, I think bettors have agreed with you. This line opened at 9, bet immediately down to 8. I love it at 8. I like Brooklyn here getting 8 points. Yes, no Kyrie. It hasn't mattered. This Brooklyn team has been money. 7-3 straight up, 8-2 against the spread. I think they keep it going tonight. This Sixers team is just the opposite. They're just 5-5 in their last 10, 3-7. We know that it's just not working with Ben Simmons and Embiid right now. We just don't know. Are they going to throw the ball inside? They're going to more run up tempo. They're going to slow it down so they can put it inside. It's like we just don't know with the 76ers team. It's way too many points. I think the 76ers win here, but I think it's a really close game. I really think it's a 2 or 3 point game. So give me the 8 points with this Brooklyn Nets team. I wouldn't wait on putting this in because I do see a lot of steam here come with Brooklyn Nets, and I expect this line to probably be at 7.5 here shortly.
You got to love reverse line movement. All right, Nick, where are we going next?
All right, next up for our NBA picks today. Let's move along, shall we? Let's take the Milwaukee Bucks against the Detroit Pistons. Good versus bad, as in records, not necessarily evil. The Bucks an astounding record at 46-8, 31-23 against the spread. They're 8-2 in the last 10, although they did lose 111-118 to the Pacers last outing. They're 21-5 straight up, 15-11 against the spread. This is on the road, okay? Pretty impressive stuff. However, Korver, Hill, and Hill are both question marks for this game, but they are 10-0 straight up in the last 10 against the Pistons. And the Pistons have the reverse sort of record at 19-38. They're 21-34-2 against the spread. They're 2-8 in the last 10. They're on a 4-game crap streak right now. They lost by 4 to the Magic the last outing. They are 11-19 straight up and against the spread at home. They've gone under in 4 of the last 6. And no surprise for the big double digits with the Bucks at -13 and a total pointage here of 224. And I look at 224, Craig, and I think, if the Pistons could actually score a basket every now and then, maybe it could be higher. But, I'm imagining maybe the Bucks will score all 224 points.
Can we bet on
Well, you got to be careful with you got to be careful with totals in the first couple games after the All-Star break. Just like any of us, if you don't go to the gym for a couple weeks, guess what? When the first time you go back, a little sore. Guess what? I think the Bucks, they have a really deep bench. I think they'll have to use them. But I just think this is way too many points. I would probably lean towards the under and the underdog, especially home underdogs, the first couple games after the break. That's definitely the case in this one. This is not one you want to watch because the way Detroit plays and shoots the ball, it's not pretty. But I do think the Pistons do just enough at +13, and the Bucks are just rusty enough on offense. And using that bench, I think you'll see the Bucks win by 8 to 10 points, but not cover the points. So I'm going to take the Detroit Pistons in an ugly game. Don't watch this one if you're going to bet this one.
So we're taking Detroit +13, right? Is that shifted, Craig? Is that still 13?
Yep, 13.
Okay, perfect. 13. All right, Allie, what's next on your agenda?
Okay, I have one that's kind of like yours. It's a good team against a really bad one. We're going to talk Houston Rockets and the Warriors. The Rockets are 34-20. They just come off a home win against the Celtics, 116-105. Harden and Westbrook had a combined 78 points in that game. They've won 6 out of their last 10, have a 15-12 record on the road. Eric Gordon is questionable, and they're going to go see the Golden State Warriors. Are you ready for this? They're 12-43. That's crazy talk. You've won 12 games all season. They've lost 4 in a row. The last one was at Phoenix, 112-106. They're 7-19 at home. And Steve Kerr said on Tuesday he does not think Klay Thompson's going to be back for the rest of the whole year. Houston is -10, and the total's 232.5. Is that too many points, or is it looking right?
Well, if you look at this one, I think it's a little too many points the first game back. Also remember, this Golden State team actually pulled a big upset on Christmas Day against this same Houston team at home, as I think they're actually even a bigger favorite, maybe Houston. I like the Warriors here getting 10 points. I just think this Warriors team, they haven't been as bad against the spread as they have, of course, straight up. They're 5-5 and against the spread the last 10. Same as the Rockets here. So you're going to give me a rusty team coming out of the break against a Golden State team that's got a little positive momentum, because let's remember that the news is that Klay will be back here in about a month. Steph will be back here in a couple weeks. I think Golden State's got a little pep to their step. I don't think they're going to win this one outright. Don't get me wrong. I don't think they do that twice in one season against Houston. But I do think Golden State getting double digits at home, you have to take the Golden State Warriors +10 here.
That makes sense.
All right, so we're going to take the Warriors +10 on that one. Let's move along. The Grizzlies at the Kings. The Grizzlies, 28-26. They're 30-23-1 against the spread. They're 8-2 in the last 10, coming off a 111-104 win over the Trailblazers. They're 12-13 straight up, 13-11-1 against the spread on the road. The total's gone over in 5 of the last 6 road games, and the Kings are 21-33, 26-27-1 against the spread. They're 6-4 in the last 10. They dropped the last 2 to the Bucks and the Mavs. 11-15 straight up, 10-15-1 against the spread at home. Jabari Parker is a doubt, though, with a shoulder injury. They've gone over in 13 of the last 16, and the Kings are going to eke this one out. They are 1-point home favorites here. 228 is the total. You like that 1 point there, Craig?
You know what I like in this one? I like a parlay in this one. I like the Memphis Grizzlies. They've been red hot as of late. 8-2, both straight up and against the spread. I like them here getting a point. I also think the over. When Memphis wins, they usually score a lot of points. They are a very, very explosive team on offense. They really like to push. Morant has had a great year. Dylan Brooks as well for Memphis. I like this 1-2 combo they have. I think Memphis gets the win. I also think the over. Usually, first game back, like I said, I'm usually leaning towards the under, but not the way this Memphis team plays. I think they're going to really push the ball. I think they're probably going to not be great on defense because that's usually their MO. So I think they'll give up their fair share against the Kings team that doesn't mind to push the ball as well. I like the parlay here. Let's take the Memphis Grizzlies +1 and take the over at 228. I say don't even bet them separate. Just put this in as a parlay. I just think Memphis is that good on offense that they win and push this one way over the total.
All right, so we're going to take the parlay on this one. Grizzlies at +1, and we're going to take the over 228. So there's a little money for you from Craig Trapp, courtesy of picksandparlays.net. Allie, we're done, right?
I'm done.
Craig, big boxing match coming up this weekend. Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder 2. We had the Triple B on the other day. He likes Wilder. He says take the over. It's 10.5 rounds. He thinks the knockout on the over. How do you see that one?
Yeah, I like the over as well. I just think this one's going the distance. I don't think either one of them are going to I think there'll be knockdowns. I just think the over is the play here. I think this one's going to a decision. I think Wilder will win, but I just don't like the value there. So I would definitely take the over. With me, as far as a handicapper, unless I'm going to take an underdog, as far as either on UFC or in boxing, I'm either going to play a over or under total, or I pick a round prop if I think there's going to be a knockout. So I like getting more more value on my money versus a big favorite.
So you don't actually see a knockout here, Craig. You think this is going to go the distance? This is going to be a decision on the cards, and interesting because obviously the first fight had plenty of knockouts, and quite frankly, I mean, I can argue a Triple B about the 13 count for Tyson Fury. I didn't quite see it that way. I mean, Tyson Fury proves that there's life after death the way he got up after that punch. But honestly, I think if Deontay Wilder lands another punch on Tyson Fury like that, I don't think he survives it.
Well, I mean, I didn't think Fury was in great shape for that one. I think he'll come in better shape. Obviously, I mean, I don't know how he got up for that. I just think this one's going over. I think they both have a lot more respect for each other. So I don't think you're going to see, reckless abandon. So anybody really get knocked out. If so, I think it would be late. So I think the over's a pretty safe play here. I think the decision, that's probably what I'm going to play, is win by decision, Wilder, and the over rounds.
And the over rounds. Now, interestingly enough, why don't we stay on the sweet science because we have a couple of minutes left. I read today Canelo's re-signing for a Canelo Golovkin 3. I tell you what, Craig, I don't want to see that fight. I mean, Canelo is young, a lot younger than Gennady, has come into his prime, is probably pound for pound the best fighter in the world right now, and Gennady is a fighter on decline. I mean, do you have an interest in seeing that fight? I certainly wouldn't bet it, by the way.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's probably going to be minus 800 or something stupid, but this is more, I think, about he signed the big contract with DAZN, and they need a good matchup for him. And who else is out there for him? And that's the problem right now. That we see the 147 and 150 class. There's tons of people to fight, but as you get up into the middleweights, there's just not that many big paydays available for either Triple G or Canelo. So I like Canelo. He's gonna win easy. I thought he won easy the second one. I thought he won pretty easy in the first one, to be honest. So I think he'll finish the trilogy and make it 3-0. And I don't know where Canelo goes after this, though.
Yeah, I don't know. Does he shift around again in weight? I mean, that's the question. Does he try to go up another weight class? He's got the frame.
Mayweather would be the only. He would have to go down, and Mayweather would have to come up to fight again. Let's remember when he fought. When he fought Mayweather the first time, he just wasn't ready for him, and he had to come way down in weight.
Yeah, he was.
He had to come down in weight too. So I don't think that's going to happen. But I don't know what other big paydays out there for him. That's a problem.
I'll tell you the payday I want to see, though. I want to see the winner of Fury Wilder fight Anthony Joshua. That's what I want to see. That's the fight I'm waiting to see. Craig, always great to talk basketball with you. Always great to talk the sweet science with you of boxing. We love boxing. Here at Picks and Parlays, we got everything for you. And again, go to our website, picksandparlays.net. Our free picks galore. And of course, we have our expert picks. And right now, 20% off. Use promo code XFL and help yourself to all that sports betting goodness. Just fill your pockets up. We won't stop you at the door, we promise. All right, when we come back, we're going to recap all the picks in case you missed them. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back. Nick Geber and Ali Burns with you here at Picks and Parlays. We're with you Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific, live on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network, also streaming live, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. By the way, the show also goes out live on iHeartRadio, TuneIn, everywhere you want to be. So it is good to bring you the best free sports picks you can get every day here on the networks.
Kind of a big deal, We're kind of a big deal.
I think so, Ali. But if you've missed any of our picks, shall we recap them for everyone?
Yeah, might as well.
All right, let's do it.
Grab your pen.
We started with Smarty Pants, NHL, San Jose, New Jersey. He said take San Jose plus 115.
We did Philadelphia and Columbus. Take the Blue Jackets plus 110.
All right, the Penguins against the Maple Leafs. Take the Penguins plus 110.
Arizona and the Blues. Get on the Coyotes plus 170.
All right, and Tampa Bay versus the Golden Knights. Take Tampa Bay minus 110. We then moved right along with Craig Trapp. We talked a little college basketball. Ohio State at Iowa. Take Iowa minus 2.5.
USC at Colorado. Take USC plus 9.5.
Those cheaters. Okay, Oregon at Arizona State. Take Arizona State plus 1.
And Michigan State at Nebraska. Take Michigan State minus 11.5.
And we just can't stop giving you free picks, so we threw in some NBA action for you as well, starting with the Bucks at Pistons. Take the Pistons plus 13.
Take the Nets at the 76ers, or Nets at 76ers. Take the Nets plus 8.
All right, we've got a little special for you here, Grizzlies at Kings. We said take the Grizzlies plus 1, but wait, there's more. No, it's not a Ginsu knife. It's a parlay. Craig says take the Grizzlies plus 1 and take the over 228 to make some extra money.
Finish it up with the Rockets at Warriors. Take the Warriors at home plus 10.
All right, that'll wrap the show for today. Hope you enjoyed it. We always enjoy bringing it to you. The show will be back tomorrow. Ali and I will not. Tomorrow, Chelsea Messenger will be flying the plane, so to speak. She'll be driving the car, driving the bus.
Right, the ship.
Chelsea Messenger tomorrow, live, Picks and Parlays, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific, on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network. Please, one more time, go to our website, picksandparlays.net. Free picks galore, but get our expert picks 20% off right now. Promo code XFL. Ali, we'll see you after the weekend.
All right, I'll be back on Monday.
See you Monday.